It's Bad Brad, and I'm here with you in impromptu live on this Sunday. And I've got a little moment where the family is out for a minute, and I got a new iPhone, so I am testing out to seeing how this works. Let's see if we get a few people in the room. This is completely impromptu. And I don't expect anybody to just show up but we'll see. We'll keep the vibes flowing. I want to talk. If you have not watched it yet, go on my channel and watch the Ira Dean interview. It is absolutely incredible. It is an inside look at the music business, and man, you cannot. You cannot pass that interview up. I just want everybody that watches my channel and everybody out there, I want you to share that interview if you can. Because, man, you don't get many inside looks at the business like that. And Phoenix, thank you for being in here. I'm testing out the new iPhone. I got the iPhone Pro Max 15. So I'm testing this out on a little live, talking about the Ira Dean interview this morning. I think you were there with us this morning when it debuted. And we got 8 people in here. Let's get the thumbs up. You know, we might as well have a little fun on a Sunday morning. I haven't cracked open a Red Bull yet, but I've had an absolute ton of unsweet tea. So I'm fully caffeinated. I've got a brief moment while my wife and Mia are out on a play date with another young kid in the neighborhood. So that's going to be fun. Thank you, Phoenix. Yes, if you have not seen the Ira Dean interview on my channel, look, when I don't tell people, hey, please watch my video or whatever, but man, this interview is so good. And if you're trying to break into the music business or you want to become a songwriter, right on, Sean, right on. How you doing? Party on, bro. We're partying on with some tea. We're talking tea and we're talking music business. And man, like I said, tell me where that, trying to find a clip. All right. Dr. Star, man, thank you so much. Everybody share that interview if you can, and watch it. If you haven't seen it, make sure you watch that interview. And next weekend, Joseph Wooten from the Wooten Brothers, played with Steve Miller Band for 31 years. I mean, dude, we could probably talk for a couple of hours just about how do you last 31 years on the road. And I touched upon it with Joe. I said, man, you didn't get involved in any of the shenanigans and any of the temptations on the road. 31 years, bro. It can be done. Thank you, Doctor. That I'm telling you, man, that gives you so much insight into the music business. The Ira Dean interview, man, if you want to know how to make it, if you want to know how to get songs cut by artists, man, no funky kicks going down in the city. What song is that from? Steve Miller. That's right. Yeah, man. It's just amazing, man. It's amazing that I'm getting, all these connections and people that I've played with, mostly, except for the Rudy Sarzo. And Rudy Sarzo was given to me by my good friend, Roger Carter, out in LA. And he hooked me up. That's right, Sean. He hooked me up with Rudy Sarzo. So I was able to get that interview. But everybody else I've interviewed has been somebody, a friend from the past, or people that I've played with or grew up with or whatever. And man, getting to reach back and reconnect with these people, man, it's just incredible. And who knows? Thank you. Yeah, I got the vintage VH shirt. You know, I still rock it. I'll be going to Goodwill to donate some clothes today, and I'll be rocking the Van Halen shirt. Yeah, Rudy Sarzo is an absolute saint. He is a saint of rock and roll. And dude, let me tell you, man, to do. I was so pumped to do that interview, Sean, and it's still I could pinch myself. Um, Yeah, man. So Black 22 is Tim Hardiman, good friend from Nashville, in the music business, video production and on-camera talent and all that. Tim Hardiman has done it all. And did you see where I mentioned you guys' name in there? Your name is mentioned in that interview. But yeah, it's a trip. It's a trip to reconnect with these people from your past who, we all take separate paths. Once you get off the bus, one guy goes this way, one guy goes another way. And we always think back fondly of our time on the road and our time together, but we don't always get to reconnect like that. And getting to just sit down with somebody, awesome, man. Thank you, Tim. Tim was there. Tim was on the bus with us, and when a lot of this stuff was going on. We had a good tour manager though when you were out with us, Tim. So yeah, you didn't get to see some of the. It was a wild ride though. Yeah, that was a fun one, man. I look back 110%. I know that we talk about some calamities and some nonsense that went on, but man, I would probably say that was some of the funnest uh, gig I ever did was Trick Pony. We had the most fun, man. We just it was just good vibe. It was good vibes, even though there was calamities and stuff going on. It never got like bad vibes, and so man, I look back on that time very fondly, and yeah. So somebody just asked if Wooten lives in Paso Robles. Aubrey is a mom now, and she is back in Colorado. She's married, and she has a couple of kids. And I noticed she is on Instagram, and she is like, doing the mom thing, selling, skincare online and all that. So, whoo, Purge, you got 3D glasses? Right on. I would. You're in my room, dude. We'll put on some Van Halen after the live, right? But man, yeah, everybody goes on to do different things. I guess Heidi, the original singer for Trick Pony, I think she still does gigs. I know she was, a year or so ago. So everybody gets off the bus and goes in different directions. And man, it's just it's an amazing, amazing thing to get to experience and reconnect with old friends, man. Getting to reconnect. Now let's get those thumbs up. We got 23 in here. Let's get it pumped up. This is just an impromptu live. I wanted to see how the new phone does. I'm gonna keep my original phone that I shot all my videos on, and I'm going to use both phones to have some two camera options, and and so that should be cool. Trick Pony was huge in the 90s. Yeah, they were huge, man. And you get, when you're out with an act, there's hills and valleys. It's just Trick Pony, Robert. Yeah, there was a band called One Trick Pony, but Trick Pony had a hit song called Poor Me. And that pretty much kind of exemplifies their sound. So if you want to hear what Trick Pony sounded like and can imagine me largely with Trick Pony, I would play the guitar solos note for note. It's just, they had those songs where you hear the solo and you go, man, that solo is perfect for this song. It always seemed like they had the perfect solo, and it wasn't really a looser kind of jam type thing. So, man, I'd be on that gig and I'd play those solos note for note every night. And, there might be a little room for a little, extra sauce, put a little extra sauce on it. But man, it was a fun gig because it was a big show, and those guys were all three of them were great show people in their own right. So man, that was a great experience, and to be able to talk to Ira again, and he's down here in Florida, like every month, and he talked about us getting together in a little studio down there and making some music. So who knows what happens, man. But the future is always positive if you have a positive outlook. And man, it's a good Sunday. I'm thankful to be alive. It's been a crazy busy week. Yeah, it's poor me, Pour me. And it is kind of a play on words. Pour me, pour me another shot of whiskey. It's that kind of thing. So you think they're saying pour me, but it's a play on words. And that was a clever song, man. They burst onto the scene, and really that band was a huge reason why a guy like me, who had even kind of stopped playing hard rock and stopped playing rock and roll and was playing everything. What's happening, Jack? I was playing everything, but rock really at that time. And Trick Pony was a huge thing that brought me into the country music world. That was the first country act, besides the acoustic gig that I did, that it wasn't really a good fit for me. Trick Pony was a fit. When I heard and saw what they were doing, I'm like, man, I could play with these guys. This is right up my alley. And they didn't have, it wasn't tons of like chicken picking, snapping, early mid 90s country guitar. It was rockin' guitar. They would have Pat Buchanan played on a lot of those albums, and he was famous for playing on Cameo's Candy. That song Candy, boom, 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 boom. So you got guys that played on R&B hits that moved to Nashville and are now playing on country albums. And so those would be the solos. The solo, Pat is great. Yes, those would be the solos that I would have to play live. And they were great solos. So man, and I remember one of the songs had a little, it had the little single tap after a bend. And I love that stuff. But I would go out there and I had a 412 cab and a 50-watt head, and the amp would be blowing side stage, just cranked. And people would say, "Man, I saw you playing with them, and man, your amp was just blasting, and it was awesome." And so, man, that gig was so much fun. Yeah, they were a gateway, and it put me to where, okay, and it got me out there in that country world. Whereas before, man, it was very closed off. I knew people that were touring with country acts that sometimes did the kind of gigs that I did, but man, I was never brought into that fold until Trick Pony. I had to audition for that gig. I believe it was me and two other players. And I didn't hear the other guys, but I think for me, the reason why I got the gig, it was both playing and it was both image. They said, "We thought you would look good in the videos." They had plans to do a new album. They were looking for the complete package. Uh, so somebody just asked which Wooten brother played bass. That's Victor Wooten. He's the famous bass player guy. They have all the best. Yeah, Sean. For now, if you are, if you're a guitar player, Nashville kind of is the place to be because it is still based on the guitar. They may be using hip hop beats. They may be using loops and doing different things, but they still need guitar players, especially live. And So if you're a younger guy in your 20s, even if you're in your 30s, and heck, man, I got my last road gig call. I was like 47 years old or 46 years old to go play 175 shows a year. It's just nowhere else in America would a 47-year-old get put on a tour and be playing arenas. Only in Nashville. Nashville is a place, the best reason why me moving to Nashville was a great idea, because it gave my career longevity. If I'd have stayed in Los Angeles and I was getting to be about 27, 28 towards the end of my run in Los Angeles, if I'd have stayed there, dude, I would have been done. Maybe when hair metal came back, maybe I would have gotten one of those gigs. Maybe that would have happened. Um, yes, Chris, I am committed to this grind. I am committed to it, man. I'm full forward. This is it. And I will not fail. I will not fail. I will continue on. And it doesn't matter, man. For me, this is the future. And I love it. I love getting to talk with you guys, man. I get now where, thank you, Tim. Aldine was kind of doing it. Yeah. Well, we were, with Trick Pony, we were before Aldine, and I had played Rich Redmond, who's been the longtime drummer for Jason Aldean. He played in Rapnex, my rap group that was a rap, hybrid, country rap, rock hybrid. So I had played with those before that guy, before that Aldean even existed. I knew those guys. So those guys were we were all closet rockers, but I'm older than those guys. Someone said, did EVH give me that pic of him? I wish he had. That is just something, that pic right there, I believe I got on Amazon. It's just an Amazon purchase, and the frame is a cheap, plastic frame, but I just think it's such a cool shot. He's got his Heinekens off. It's like a picture of him in his workshop. It's just a dude sitting around in the workshop. If you can imagine what Edward's workshop was, having a couple of Heinekens, Edward Van Heineken, and having a smoke and playing some riffs, working on his guitar. I think that sums up. Sums up Eddie Van Halen. I think he was always trying to look for an edge, and he was that guy. He was that guy that pushed the music forward. So, man, I'm so thankful. Let's get those thumbs up. I think you should try to interview Steven Rosen. I know, Chris, you have sent me that, and I need to get to that. It's probably about that time now, because I wanted to space it out between the Greg Renoff interview and that one. I didn't want to do back-to-back Van Halens. It's just like, I don't want to only do Sunset Strip stuff. I'm going to do plenty of Sunset Strip videos, but I don't want to just be the Sunset Strip guy, because that's a relatively small. Stevie T, Bo Dragon. So Bo Dragon said, interview Stevie T. I wish I could. Hey, Stevie T, if you're watching this channel, bro, come on my channel and just do a ridiculous interview. Let's do the most ridiculous Zoom interview ever. That would be absolutely epic. Dr. Starr is asking, yes, Dave Marshall. Doctor, do you know Dave Marshall? So here's a little trivia for you. When Rapnex, my rap rock group, had to play live, and we went out to Farm Club, and we did this big, show for Jimmy Iovine, and, with Stained and Macy Gray and all this. We needed a guitar player to play the parts that I'd played on the songs. And we hired Dave Marshall from the Vince Neil band, played with Steve Stevens. That's our guitar player on Farm Club. So yeah, Dave Marshall from the Sunset Strip, two Sunset Strip, actually four Sunset Strip guys were in Rap Necks on that show. You had John Billings from Lancia. You had Dave Marshall from Paradise. You had Johnny D, who was our intro guy out in LA. And then you had me. So you had four guys that played the Sunset Strip in the hair band, early 90s hair band era. And we were all on USA Network's Farm Club doing a rap rock project. Now, if that's not a bizarre thing, and that no one knew, we didn't advertise that we were hairband guys. It's just, look, my hairband, and I know Doctor's thing, he did some rap stuff in his show. My band, Boy Elroy, we started doing, adding little rap verses and stuff like that. So, Tal Wilkenfeld would be great. Man, look, if anybody has contacts, if anybody could get me Stevie T or Tal Wilkenfeld, I welcome that. If they'd like to come on this channel and just have fun for 30 minutes to an hour. It was Rap Next was essentially a Sunset Strip all-star band. Yeah, and nobody knew it. Nobody knew that we were, I chopped off all my hair, and I had it like spiky, like a 90s, like a boy band cut. And I grew one of those 90s new metal goatees, and I would love to, Anarchy. Somebody wants to hear me interview Bobby Brown. I would love to. I don't know if she's willing to do a Zoom interview. Look, if any of these people hear this, if anybody out there, I would love to have Bobby Brown. That would be a great interview. But man, she has done a lot of stuff, and she's had her own TV shows and different things. So I don't know if I can get Bobby Brown, but I remember seeing Bobby Brown many times out in the clubs. Dave Marshall played in the Vince Neil band. Yes, he did. No, not that, Sean. Bobby Brown, who was the Star Search winner, who went on to marry Janie Lane, but also dated some other rock stars. Her book, I think I read her book. I downloaded it. So yeah, man, I would love to do all these different interviews. And right now I'm just going through my friend list and just interviewing people that I can kind of get my legs as far as interviewing. Kind of get my sea legs, or tour legs, as we used to call them. And that would be a great, Dr. Star is asking me about a dance instructor. Miserable. Thank you so much. Thank you. I will need that. I will need that for Supercuts. Thank you, brother. I'm going to try to hit the like button. It's still not able to do it. I'm an old guy. But yeah, that'll get me my next Supercuts. Now, I'll tell you what, dude. I think I'm going to just grow my hair out long again. Because, man, I went to get a haircut, and dude, it wasn't the experience that I liked. Now, I liked the person that cut my hair, and she was going through her own things, but it wasn't the level of like detail that when you have this much hair, it takes a lot of getting in there and chopping this and trimming this and all this. So Ken Tamplin, yes, Bo, I am aware of the Ken Tamplin thing. Not too many more chances left to grow long. Yeah, I'm gonna grow it out. I'm gonna grow it out long and see what happens because I don't have a stylist here. My wife is struggling with they practically fried my wife's hair to where she had to go and get it fixed and all this stuff. Man, we don't have the access to good stylists here. I'm here was a hair raising note or rock blues. All right, Lowdown. Lowdown, I'm glad to have you here, man. I know you probably had a rough night last night. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for the $5 for the supercuts. And man, there is a supercuts down the street, but man, I have never you can't go in there with crazy hair like this. They just don't know what to do with it. You gotta find somebody that can trim it. But I think I'm gonna just probably just grow. Yeah, I need to buy a Flow Bee. Get the Farrah Fawcett. Yeah, I need to get the what was that called? Wings, where I used to when I was a kid, you'd comb it this way and you'd get those side wings. I got a friend who now plays in a wedding band. Was in Stuck Mojo and Fozzy for a few years. That would be cool, Chris. Yeah. Like I said, man, yeah, the feathered back. Yeah. Man, I'm open to any suggestions as far as interviews, but I also want to keep it fun and keep it light. So I am kind of picking and choosing, who I do an interview with because, man, it is work, and I also have to tell the family, hey, I need an hour at this time, and it's difficult juggling family responsibilities. Yesterday I went live, and Mia needed help going to the bathroom, so I had to cut my whole live off. So they're out right now on a play date, and that's why I'm here. Yeah, guitar player. I think I'm just gonna just grow it out. Why not? Why not? Maybe we'll start a hair band down here. I'll get the hair like super tweaked. I mean, right now, dude, if I put a little hairspray or a little goop in it and teased it out, man, I could, I could I'm almost ready for the Velcro pygmies. Maybe about a month, maybe about 2 or 3 months. Lowdown, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, man. You guys are being so generous today. That helps. It helps so much, man. You know, uh, I was in a back hair band. Miserable. I'm not sure if that counts, bro. They have devices for that. Um, I should have my own shampoo gel line. Yes, I should, Chris. Back in the I have a bogus bouffant. I had, man, I had back in the day on our flyers. I don't know if I can still find one of the old flyers, but we were sponsored by some hair product thing, and it was on the flyers. Shock uses, such and such hair products, and yeah, it's just indicative of how crazy stuff was. Skullet radio. I look. I admire the skullet. I admire the audacity that it takes to have a skullet. And I would always when I go to a new stylist. I always tell them, give me a skullet. I want a skullet. I just think it's like the coolest looking, like, I just think it's hilarious. I think it's hilarious and it's awesome. So yeah, man, I'm thankful to have everybody here. Well, let's get those thumbs up. We got 30 thumbs up and 54 people in here. So let's get some thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Man, I'm just thankful. If you haven't seen the Ira Dean interview, of course, go see that after this live. Modatini hair products. It was something like that. It was some local brand. Whose vibrato do you like the most? Is somebody just asked. You talking guitar players, obviously, not vocalists, right? I can't. Who? a good vibrato is just a good vibrato. I never even thought about it. I never, some people have to work on a vibrato. Lynch has a really cool vibrato because it's part of his thing. Um, Everybody's is different. It's just the only thing I don't like is a bad vibrato that like on Fight for Your Right to Party, that spastic kind of vibrato that you kind of get when you're first learning how to play. I don't think I ever had that. That's the only bad vibrato I think there is. I think everybody's vibrato is valid. I like what Ingve does with his really wide vibrato. I like what George Lynch does with his it's like a sideways vibrato. And I like BB King. I like all of those players, man. I can't, it's like picking your favorite, a slice of pizza or something. I mean, it's as long as it's good pizza is just good pizza. Yeah, Bo, I agree. So yeah, man, it's just really cool to be able to get on here and talk. Claude, what's happening? How you doing? It's just cool to be able to get on here and talk about music with you guys. That's what's awesome. Hold the anchovies. Radio Chaos, thank you so much. I'm gonna need that for the Red Bull stash. I thank you. It won't let me hit the heart button for some reason. There we go. Thank you. Us old guys, even I've got a bigger phone now. I don't know if it's resulting in a bigger picture, but hopefully this old guy, I'm thinking, man, one day I might have to edit videos on a phone. And so that's why I got a bigger phone. I got the Max. So, man, but I think this phone's working good. How's the picture? Is the picture better than before? Worse? Let me know. But thank you so much for that last chat. We've made $10 here, man, and that's better than we did on Saturday planning to go live. So maybe these impromptu lives are the way to go, man. It's just amazing. What is your favorite parts caster neck, Warmoth, etc.? I don't have it in here, but I've got a parts caster Warmoth neck that's flamed to the max, and it was on my number one Strat, the red Strat. You see, if you go down in the description, below the description of this video, you'll see there's a shirt. It says The Machine Shop, Bad Brad. Click on that shirt. You'll see there's a shirt I'm selling now, and somebody bought like 3 or 4 of those things the other day. But it's this cool shot of me at the Machine Shop in Flint, Michigan, and I'm holding my parts caster Strat by the body, and I'm holding it up, and it's just beat to heck in that hallway of the Machine Shop, which is a famous photo. That photo is in the History of the Machine Shop book. Jeff Mitline is an amazing, he's like a Niels Lozauer of Detroit. And that guitar has my favorite parts caster neck on it. It's got a big headstock, flamed out neck, and it's amazing. Was Hendrix actually an alien? Well, he certainly seemed like it at the time, Bo. He would certainly have been one. The Machine Shop in this amazing venue in Flint, Michigan to go see a rock concert. Were you gifted any guitars by some stars? No, not that I know. I used to give guitars to people. I gave guitars to my stage manager a couple times. I'd get something out on the road and go, it's not quite something I want to take home. And I bought something for $200 or $300 and I'd give it to him because, man, he took care of me while I was out there. Who would bring you a beer when you were thirsty? The stage manager would. You'd get on the talkback, hey man, I need a beer, please. And he'd come running out and he'd put a beer on my amp and give me a slap on the ass, get to work. you know? And so, yeah, that would be the deal. But I did have ESP LTD give us some guitars and a few other builders and stuff. Would build things and give them to you. So just saw Ian Moore last week. He's famous for using telenecks on strap bodies. He had the most flame teleneck I've ever seen. Very cool. Very cool. Uh, there's no S. Yeah, there is a little bit of that. It's all in jest. I don't have any stories about Robin Crosby because I never met him, but there is a guy that watches my channel that swears that I am Robin Crosby. I wish I was as tall as Robin Crosby, but I feel lucky that I survived. So yeah, I don't have any stories about him. Uh, yeah, it's not that kind of slap, miserable. It's not it meant in that way. It's like a football. It's like a football thing, you know. Just kind of because look, dude. If you're stage manager back when I was, deep in my cups, bringing a beer to the stage, that might be two or three times like while I'm playing a song. It might be like I'm gonna put two up there because I don't want to have to come back again. So yeah, the beers would be flowing. I never filled a beer can with water or any of that. I never filled a Jack Daniels bottle with tea. I would always have the real thing up there. Did you like Decline of Western Civilization Part Two? Bo was asking. I did, but I was like, I recognized a few faces in the movie, and obviously, I did a great interview with Randy O from Odin. But I felt like I felt like it was a hit piece. I felt like they were trying to get, in some ways, trying to make the cool people look bad and picking some questionable characters to interview. They didn't really like the two girls that are like the groupie types. I'm like, well, couldn't they have gotten like some normal girls to interview? And they got these weird kind of looking girls with the too much makeup and stuff. I think she was trying to make the scene look bad when it really wasn't. It was so yeah. Gilmore doesn't do these kind of interviews. Miserable is saying, yeah. There's a look, man. Yeah, that's my perspective, Bo. I think they made thank you, Claude. Thank you so much. Let's celebrate their first super. Let's celebrate Claude's first super. Man, thank you. I'm trying to hit the like. It's like, man, these things are so, but I'm thanking you very much, man. Thank you. We're having a good morning. It helps, man. When you guys donate to this channel, it keeps the channel going. I mean, Red Bull ain't cheap, baby. I mean, I'm kind of shocked at how expensive. I think I don't even think about it when I'm putting it in the cart. I'm thinking about, oh, I'm gonna go live on Saturday. I'm gonna want to have a Red Bull. And thank you for hitting that like on his super chat, man. Thank you. It just it keeps the channel going. Thank you, Claude. Yeah, the Randy Roberg is a great interview on my channel. Every interview I've done has been incredible. Rudy Sarzo, John Billings, another Sunset Strip guy, and a roommate, another former LA roommate. And it's just it's a learning process for me. You're gonna see this channel grow and the numbers. If you have not subscribed to this channel and you watch this channel, please just subscribe to it. It helps so much. If I can get 20,000 or 50,000 subscribers, that's going to increase the free content that I give out to you. It's going to make for better comment. Dr. Star, thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to celebrate this. Again, it's not letting me hit like, but Dr. Star, thank you so much. Man, it's just it's so incredible to have this community, this fellowship. I miss the 80s too, radio. I miss the positive energy. If you could have replaced any guitars in a famous band in the 80s, who would it have been? That is a great question. And I hope everybody's following along in the chat. Which band would I have been wanting to be in? Stylistically, Extreme would have been that style that I was playing at the time. But, obviously, I would have loved the chance to have played in David Lee Roth's band. But I'm not Steve Vai. I'm not Jason Becker. He was looking for somebody that's just blows Eddie Van Halen out of the water. And I would have never been that guy, but I would have been a guy that would have pulled him into a funky, hard rock kind of thing. And I would have loved to have done some stuff with David Lee Roth. Extreme was a style of music that I liked. But I didn't, I had to kind of forge my own path because of my musical background. It would have fit. Me and David Lee Roth would have fit. But I didn't have a big enough profile to land a gig like that. And that's really what it's all about. Thank you, Dr. Starr. So that's kind of the thing. If I was really trying to just forge my own path and create a unique, type of, my slant on hard rock, and it just wasn't able to find the perfect singer. And that is really what it all comes down. Now, we had some great singers. And maybe the first singer we had when I joined Shock, maybe he was the best guy, at that time. But, you got to be able to show up for rehearsal. You got to be able to not get in fights and not, you got to be prepared to play shows. So, it's like, who knows? Zeke says, I've actually never heard you play guitar, only talk. Well, there's plenty of playing clips, Zeke, on my channel. Guys, most of the guys tuned into this channel, you've all heard me play, right? Can we get a thumbs up for that? Can we get some testimony? I've got plenty of clips. Thank you, Bo. See, thank you for providing that. I could pull out something right now and play, something. I am a garden variety guitar player. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'll play a little bit of everything. Dr. Starr, we had a guy named, what was his name? John Miller. No, it was John. What was it? John Williams. I don't remember his last name. Was our first singer, and John. God, I'd have to read the article, but he was a good soulful singer. He just wasn't a great performer. And we on BAM magazine. Tony Martin, Rick Mason, audio lighting. That sounds familiar. We went through about 5 or 6 singers, so we never just found the perfect one. Trying to find David Lee Roth meets James Brown. That was always the thing in my mind. If I could find somebody that was soulful and could move around and carry a funk groove in his movement and have the showmanship of a David Lee Roth and a good enough soulful voice, that would have been perfect for us. So did your band let the drummer have his solo? I don't know that we did the drummer solo thing, but we may have said, dude, play a solo. We've got to fix this or we've got to fix that. Or I think what we did do, and there is some clips, there is some footage of Boy Elroy with our original singer, and he was actually a drummer as well. And so there's a clip, I think it's Boy Elroy Plays Hot. And that's one of the way older videos on my channel. And he's playing timbales, and our drummer is playing, and they're trading off. So yeah, I guess we did have some drum solos. But yeah, that was probably the extent of it. But not everybody had a video camera back then. The quality is not that good. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. Having chemistry with a drummer is almost as good as a marriage. For me, if I got a good drummer, that was the focus. And, it seemed like the bass players in the 80s, at least in the rock thing, they were never usually the strongest guy in the band. Now, I knew some monster bass players. I knew Victor Wooten back then. I knew John Billings. I knew monster bass players, but not in the rock scene. It was usually a guy with a look and a pick and somebody that could play the root. And, so I actually worked with our bass player back in the day and kind of helped him with some of his thumb playing, and hey, let's play some different notes. And he wrote some bass lines. Here's a bass line, play this bass line, and I'm gonna play. And so he got good, he got better. But only because we go, man, come on, let's get together and work on. And I'd show him, he goes, what do I play over this? And I kind of show him, man, walk up, do this little walking thing while I'm playing A minor, walk up to 1, to the 2, to the 3. Walk up that and go to the 5. Boom, 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 boom. Just do some different stuff. So that was kind of the deal. Multiple drum solo bathroom breaks. Sean, okay. Yeah, dumb guy. That dumb guy, dumb. That was what kind of a lot of that 80s bass playing was. Now there were guys that had great skill and played great stuff, but your average guy that you're gonna get because he looks the part is probably gonna go dumb. What was it? Somebody just asked, and it was something. Drum solos played over a vamp, having chemistry with a drummer. Yeah. Cliff Herring was a monster. He could do funk. He played the Chapman stick. Wow. Very cool. Yeah. I hear you. Lowdown, I know you can play. So I don't have my Red Bull right here, and I am going to probably have to cut out in a little bit. I got to run to Goodwill. But I guess this is the healthier option, right? Unsweetened, pure leaf. It's almost like having that Jack Daniels. Yeah, somebody just said the worst Michael Anthony bass solo. Yeah, that was a bad microplastics, bro. You think, is there microplastics in there? You may be right, Bo. Man, we're musicians. We're like the cockroaches of the earth. It's like you can't even breathe without something screwing with you. How did the band agree on payment for each member? Well, Robert, there was no money on the Sunset Strip, so there's never even talk of payment because we didn't make anything. And I think the only time later in my time in LA, somebody hooked us up with a cover gig at this weird bar out deep in the valley, like deep down, like past, and we're playing in like a strip mall in this bar that was owned by this kind of strange Asian guy, right? And I had heard rumors that he didn't like dead air and that another band had dead air between songs, and he started firing a piece in the club because I don't hear no music. I don't hear music. And I remember one time we were playing there, and so I was keeping and I was the singer, I was the guitar player, and it was a guitar, bass, and drums. And I think we made like $75 each. And I would try to keep the songs going. And this was all like, hey, you guys want to go play a cover gig? And it was like, man, we're just pulling songs out of our butt. I've got, a band it's normally our strip band, but we're like, now we're playing in this club. And so I'm playing all my stuff from the college frat days. I'm playing Sex Machine by James Brown. I'm playing Brick House. I'm playing Play That Funky Music. I'm playing, uh, what is Superstition. I'm playing all that stuff. And, just trying to keep it going so that the guy doesn't get pissed and fire one off. So that's kind of my experience as far as making money out in LA. Man, we didn't make any money playing the Whiskey, the Roxy, Gazaris, any of that stuff. There was no money made at all. Did he ever play wearing a sweat sock over my junk? No, I did not. We did do a photo shoot once in boxer shorts, but that's the extent of that. All right, guys, I think I'm going to have to jet out of here and get some work done. Thank you so much to everybody, the super chats, everybody with the great questions. This has been a great live impromptu today. And man, thank you. Eric Blue, what's happening? Thank you, Guy. Really, thank you, brother. Is at your side. Your gig can't lose. Man, I appreciate it. Eric Blue is a great band leader, guy that I played with for years in Nashville, man. And I appreciate that endorsement. Man, thank you so much, everybody, for having a great day. I wish everybody a great, wonderful day. And I'll see you all at the Breakfast Club tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Thanks so much. And I will see you guys later. Have a good one. Peace.